we must also be clear who we are as a party. And I would boil it down to 3 points which you can remember. 1, we must be a national party. 2, we must be a responsible party. And thirdly, we must be a party of courage and conviction. First of all, we have to be a national party for all Singaporeans. It's not always the way parties are organized. In fact, very frequently it's different. In many countries, the political parties represent factional interests. It may represent an ethnic group, it may represent a regional group, it may represent a social class. In Britain, the Labour Party represents mainly the working class. The Conservatives represent the more successful people in life, the upper classes. In India, politics is very regional. Congress actually has friends and depends on friends all over India. In Tamil, you have the Tamil parties, Tamil Nadu. In Uttar Pradesh, you have different parties. In Andhra Pradesh, you have different parties. In fact, the parties split on regional grounds, they split on language grounds, and sometimes because the parties are split, the states have to split. So one Andhra Pradesh has now become 2 states, Andhra Pradesh and the Telangana, because some groups speak Telugu, some groups don't. The parties are organized like that. But in Singapore, the PAP, we are different. We are a national party, we are an inclusive party, we look after the interests of a broad range of Singaporeans. We have one special symbiotic relationship with the labor movement, the NTUC. And therefore, I'm very happy to see our NTUC brothers and sisters here today. Come, stand up, take a bow. Our links with them go back right to the very beginning, because Mr. Lee Kuan Yew had represented the Postmen's Union in their strike in February 1952 and won their confidence and trust. And so when he launched the PAP 2 years later, the unions were firmly with him. And amongst the conveners, the first CEC, there were union representatives from the Postmen's Union, as well as others. Therefore, the PAP must continue to champion the interests of workers. And with tripartism in Singapore, workers, employers, and the government can work together for our common interests, for growth, for prosperity, for the progress of our nation. So the PAP must also look after other segments of society, the professionals, the employers, the young and the old, the housewives, as well as the working people, people of all races, languages, and religions. We will work together, and that is the way we will solve our problems. We have to be fair to all groups, we balance each group's interests against the others, and we do what is best for Singapore. Therefore, the party pledge says, regardless of race, language, or religion. Where did those words come from? They come from the National Pledge, which also says, regardless of race, language, or religion. And the National Pledge was first proposed by Comrade Ong Pang Boon, who was our first organizing secretary, drafted by Comrade S. Rajaratnam, who was our founding visionary, and polished and settled by Comrade Lee Kuan Yew, our founding SecGen. So it's a pledge drafted by the PAP leaders because we believed in it. And it expresses these ideals of inclusiveness, of unity of all Singaporeans, making a common cause as we sail our little ship into the future. This rally marks the PAP's 60th anniversary. So I think it's appropriate that at the end of this rally, we recite the National Pledge together. We started today, this morning, the party conference with a party pledge. We finished the rally, we recite the national pledge. Remind ourselves that the PAP will always be a national party, a national movement, a movement for all Singaporeans. And then we can have the party cheer. So first of all, the PAP will be a national party. Secondly, we will be a responsible party. I said in Chinese, 说得到,做得到. We don't make empty promises. We deliver on what we say. When other people say First World Parliament, you don't know what it means. When we say First World Nation, here we are. When we spend, we make sure we can afford what we propose to spend. We attend to immediate and pressing problems, but we have to think long-term for Singapore. We spend money when it's justified, but we don't mortgage our children's future to win votes. Take the PG package. It would have been so easy for us to claim the credit now, the warmth, the thanks, the gratitude, leave our children to put the bill in future. We didn't do that. We set aside the full cost, $8 billion in the budget, so that when the time comes, our seniors can be sure that they will get the benefits and really get the PGP, and so that when the time comes, our children will not be burdened and they won't curse their parents. When we face problems, we acknowledge them publicly and deal with them. We don't pretend there's no problem, no comment, studying the matter, thinking about it. We'll clarify one day. We settle now. If we lie low, you lie low, hoping the public will forget the issue and the issue will go away, the public will forget you and you might as well go away. Because we are the People's Action Party. And we have a responsibility. We owe a responsibility to the people to be honest, to be transparent, to be accountable. In fact, it is our responsibility to set the standard that other political parties in Singapore should be measured by and should aim for. I can't tell them what they should aim for, but I can tell you that is how you should measure who is up to the mark and who falls short. And we have to set that mark. Thirdly, the party has to act with courage and conviction. In a democracy of deeds, we seek the best ideas. We debate issues widely. We take all views, consider many options. Then, having settled, we must act, and act with courage and with conviction. We have to be confident in what we believe in. We have to be courageous to stand up, to defend our ideas, to do the right things for Singaporeans. And we will persuade Singaporeans to support us. Some will disagree with us. They may offer alternatives. We will consider them carefully. And if they make sense for Singapore, we will accept them. Others will oppose us, not because they disagree with what we are doing or saying or proposing, but just to cause trouble, get us out, get in, take charge, and then God knows what. And some will flame us. As Comrade Cynthia says, you must expect to be flamed, but have no fear, you are not being flamed alone. This is democracy. People are entitled to try. It's the way the system works, or is supposed to work. But for democracy really truly to work in Singapore, the PAP also must fight, and fight to win the battle. Because if the other side fights and we sit down and we are good guys and nice and friendly to everybody, I think we deserve to lose. We are friendly, yes. To win, we must fight for what we believe in. And if you get flamed, so what? I have the thickest skin in town. And if you are doing the right thing, if 10,000 people go against you, proceed. We are charging in the right direction. We have a duty to renew ourselves, to build a leadership for Singapore, and to provide a leadership for Singapore to take the country forward. Because our responsibility is not just to lead the country well now, but to ensure that Singapore will be led competently well into the future.